As you may already know, a patient's positive outcomes are very important to a home health agency and to the patients they serve. This means that the patient benefited from the treatment by maintaining the gains made in therapy when therapy was no longer being provided. Essentially, that is the ultimate test of therapy intervention. Can the gains made while with the therapist be maintained and continued when that therapist isn't there? A therapist has to determine how to get the patient to do what is needed for treatment when they are not around. One way is to involve the family member or caregiver to support the improvements made. Early in the care plan, it is imperative that the therapist begins to remove themselves from the intervention. This has to be done in a manner that safely transitions things over to the patient or caregiver that are necessary to sustain improvements independently, or these specific activities no longer need the skilled observation of a therapist. A care extender plays a part in this transition. Now let's discuss what is a care extender and how they help the patient. By using a care extender, which is a non-skilled provider like a home health aide, family member, friend, other non-clinical support, a therapist can create a team of people with one goal in mind: keep the momentum going. Care extenders don't have to have special knowledge or skills to be able to remind a patient to do their home exercise program or to sit and observe them performing it. They just need to be familiar with the things to watch for when interacting with the patient during these activities. Some examples of activities a clinical extender can support are home exercise reinforcement, walking programs, practice of energy conservation techniques or strategies, observation of swallow precautions, follow through with the correct use of newly assigned adaptive equipment, repetition of verbal reminders for safety precautions during activities of daily living, functional activity practice to increase endurance and strength. Just to reiterate, by using a care extender, you are shoring up those skills needed to maintain physical, cognitive, and communicative skills longer and facilitate independence and extend the patient's wellness. Now let's talk about the importance of extending the stay of wellness. In PDGM, the duration of patient wellness comes into play when determining the episode timing, either early or late. A 30-day period of care will not be considered early unless there is a gap of more than 60 days between the end of one period of care and the start of another. To extend this spell of wellness, the patient must have effective health literacy and condition management. Each discipline can support this endeavor through competent assessment of the patient's ability to maintain the gains made while not in the agency's care. In addition, each discipline can slowly titrate their services and test whether the patient's positive response to treatment endures over time. This slow retreat of services helps to validate that the progress made will continue in the absence of skilled care. And finally, let's talk about remote support and best practices. Once a patient's transition has been made and the important activities have been handed over to the clinical extender, there are many ways to continue to reinforce that advancement. A non-visit contact, like a virtual visit with a patient or caregiver, may be used to support the non-skilled activities a care extender is providing. There can also be a phone call or a video chat through a HIPAA-compliant system that can boost a patient's condition management and help carry over those techniques needed to maintain health and wellness after the home care episode is complete. To ensure that you have the resources and information you need during this changing medical climate of PDPM and PDGM, Aegis Therapies is here for you. Keep checking back to our resource center for more videos, FAQs, executive summaries, and podcasts to help you along the way.